Good morning. This morning, I wanted to offer a conversation about our passions. And especially, I think it's relevant because it's only Tuesday morning. And I know from my own experience, many of you already feel, I wish it's already, it already was weekend. Those especially who go to work and maybe they don't necessarily enjoy what they do as much as they did before or as much as they thought they will when they're choosing their career or something like that. So let's talk about passion. As we grow, I don't want to say older, more mature, we start to experience world as repetitive phenomena. Everything that happens to us has some repetition to that, something that we already feel familiar with. It doesn't have to have the form that is exact duplicate of experience that previous experiences, but it feels that we know it already. I've been there, I've done that. What else is there? And then we also, as we feel the transience of all experiences, we start to give them less value because it feels like, so next thing will be gone too, so what? What's the point? And that's what kills the passion, this question, well, then what's the point? There is no meaning, so what's the point? I'm sitting here right now in my art studio. And I noticed that for some time after big changes in my life, I quite lost this creative impulse to create. I was sitting with that for a while and looking what happened, why was it lost? Why I don't wake up and I just don't crave to get my hands dirty. Why is that? My invitation is to look at passion as this. Passion is the impulse of creation. Creation is birth and rebirth. It's a process of birth. For something to be born, it must come from the point of zero, clear slate. Death in the sense. In some sense, it's death. There is a cycle of death and birth, death and birth, death and birth. And of course, I'm not pointing to death that is physical death. I'm talking about death inside of us. But it's not. There's no negative connotation in that. Death in the sense of death of the old thinking, of the old patterns, of the old attachments, of the old. Something that represents stagnation within us. So when there is stagnation, there can be no passion because we are just stuffed with this old that is not processed, not moving. So in order to feel passionate about life again, we must die to the past and all it represents. And the past, it doesn't mean far away past. It doesn't mean past events or memories of past events. It means everything within us that we know. And we only can know past. We cannot know anything beyond past. So anything within us that we know or feel we know, because if we knew, it would be a completely different story. The knowing of self is so much deeper than what we can comprehend and imagine. So anything that we know about ourselves on the level of personality, on the level of ego, must die for passion to come again alive and rise within us and start to push and pull us to create something. If you are here and you're having your cup of coffee, morning cup of coffee before you run into your next thing, work, meeting, task, write something, let me know, what do you feel is happening in your world? Are you passionate about life? Were you passionate about life some time ago when it disappeared? What do you think is in your way? While you're doing so, if you have time to do so, because I know that it's a morning and day, sorry, I have to have my cup of tea. I'm still suffering from flu and fever. So what does it mean to die to the old in order to allow passions arise with us, in order for this birth to happen? What old perceptions do we carry? How can we see them clearly? Because they constitute our ego. How can ego see itself? That's the questions. How can we observe what is dead within us already, but we don't let it go fully, because we don't realize it's dead, it's past, it's known. There is no life in that any longer. There is nothing for us to discover. Basically, absence of passion, very simple. In simple words, absence of passion points to the fact that transformation is needed. Inner transformation, it's time to profound inner transformation. What caused this? Why it's needed? Why it's there? This is irrelevant. What is relevant is the fact of acknowledging that, I live the passionless life right now. Everything is blah, and everything feels like an old known thing, and there is no point of anything. So when we feel it, it's a pointer. There is inner transformation that is needed. How can we derive to that understanding? Maybe through boredom as well. When we're passionless, we feel bored. Isn't it so? We feel bored. Feel nothing is interesting, nothing is entertaining, nothing is meaningful. Bored. Boredom is a great pointer to the fact that there is something that we want. It's not that we don't want anything. We want something, but we buried it deep down. And we buried it because maybe life didn't give it to us. Maybe we tried, but it didn't happen for us. Maybe we were judged, shamed. This is painful. Shame is a very painful feeling. It can slash a lot of efforts for the future. So we were judged, shamed, misunderstood, not loved, when we, like a child, just wanted to play and just wanted to create. As a result, we put it deep down. We've hidden it from ourselves and others. We're not trying again because we're afraid that we will be hurt again. Or maybe someone created something and it was not the creation, not us, but the creation was judged. The creation, the piece of art or otherwise, was not appreciated. Or at least we feel that it wasn't appreciated. So we had expectations that the problem is passion. Passion is passion. It's just energy flowing. It's just joy flowing and manifests itself in some form of creation. And that's how I invite us to treat it. Passion is just feeling within this aliveness, this welcoming life. But if we start to focus on outcomes of passion and how it's received by others, then we are in big trouble. We are in big trouble because we never receive just right amount of recognition, just right amount of appreciation. It's just never going to happen. So we will always be disappointed. We invite our disappointment. I'm going to just check sound. I realized that I didn't check sound. Do you guys hear me well? I don't know. I'm going to make sound a little bit louder here. So maybe you need to adjust your sound too. If you were just okay and I will be too loud, because my sound is pretty low. So maybe whatever is coming up, you're not even hearing. So I'm going to make my sound louder a little bit here, right here. I don't know if it's okay or not. So I just keeping it like that. Here we go. So boredom points to repressed desires, repressed impulses to create because of fear of judgment, fear of outcome that will not be met, fear of disappointment, fear. Boredom never points to absence of desire. Boredom always points to desire that is not expressed. not carried with us into fruition of some sort. If you are bored, I invite you to observe it this week, today, Tuesday. Great opportunity. It's not the very beginning of the week. It's already, we are coming to the middle of the week. And already thought cross, I want my weekend, I want to go surfing, I want to go sailing, I want to go play golf, I want to, whatever I want to, as recreation goes. Not creation just yet, recreation. So boredom points to unexpressed desires to create something. My invitation, find those desires. What are you afraid of? Ask yourself. It's very simple to find it. Just sit quietly. You don't have to make anything happen. You don't need to do formal meditation. Just sit quietly for a second. Eliminate all impressions of the world. So closed eyes help. Relax. Don't cough. Relax the body. So you don't focus on tensions and discomfort. Just relax. What do I want and afraid? Just do it with me right now. What is it I want to create, but afraid? See what's coming. If nothing coming, let's ask ourselves another question. What is it I remember trying to create in the past and I've been judged for? I was disappointed about reactions of someone towards me in my process of creation, process of enjoyment of this creation, or judged my creation, art or anything, was judged. When was it judged? Can I remember that? And you will remember because you will feel it in your body. It doesn't have to be a thought, a clear picture. You will know it because you will feel it in your body. So sit with that for a second. You have time. It's only, 7 o'clock here, PST. So if you understand the time zone, even if you need to run somewhere, you're probably having breakfast or tea, coffee. What is that I wanted from all my innocence to create in the past? What was that? Keep asking. What was that I created and it was not appreciated by this world, that I wanted to play with, that I wanted to share with? What was that? So this is the question. And then see what the body reveals something to you, because there will be sensation. You probably will feel it right here in your solar plexus as you think about a particular expression of your creation. Right here in your center of power and fear. You could feel it a little bit in your second center, second chakra some would call, because it's chakra of creativity. But since we are calling for feeling that will speak to us of our frustration, disillusionment, disappointment, it will hit you right here in the center of power, in the center of self-perception, self-identity, and self-worth. So if we were perceived as not worthy, just in the moment when we wanted to play with the world, we wanted to share love in the form of our creativity, and it was denied, judged, pushed away. We were judged, and we will feel judged if what we create, our toy that we want to share with the world, is judged. We will take it personally. We will feel judged. We will feel judged. So you will feel it here in the center of power, self-worth. As a person, because we take things personally, we perceive ourselves to be a person. We forget that we are not. We forget that we are before the person. the consciousness before the person comes to form. And the person comes when our perception is formed about ourselves, not the other. Other only seed in us idea how we will choose to perceive ourselves. This perception of ourselves will define our passions. Absence, not kind of passions, which is actually two. If someone make me believe I am a musician because I have great voice, most probably I will develop passion to music. It's not that linear, but as well. But it's not what I am pointing to. It's not the kind of passion. It's the presence and the level of passion within us. Can be dependent on what we perceive ourselves to be. So the easiest way, as I started this little monologue, and probably dialogue, I see comments, something is happening in comments, but I cannot see them. I shared with you, I need to learn how to talk and at the same time see comments. I cannot see it yet. I promise I will learn. There must be death. Before passion arises again, must be death. Not physical death. Don't treat me in the wrong way. Death of self-perception, death of the old. And it's not the old self-perception, it's death of all self-perceptions. Because all of them are old. As soon as I thought something of myself, it's old, it's gone, it's a thought, it's past. It's something I tried to define myself through, which is not true. Because what is not here is not true. It's a thought, it's an image, it's just a form, thought form. So to be passionate again, we must die to who we think we are every single time. To all our disappointments, to all our not believing in ourselves. What passion has to do with believing in ourselves anyways? Passion is passion. Passion is the process of play. Passion is the process of creation, creativity. Outcome doesn't matter. Even if I put paint on something and it looks horrific, who cares? Passion flowing, you enjoying it. The whole purpose of having passion is to enjoy the play itself. Passion to life. It doesn't have to be about creativity. I'm just taking it because I have the backdrop and I'm in my art studio, so it sounds relevant. But it can be passion to anything. Passion to loving your woman or man that you live with for so long, but you don't see them any longer because you see them through your old filters. There is no new eyes any longer. You know who you are, you think you know. You know who they are, you think you know. What is it to play with? There is no toy any longer. No toy. Toy is gone. But the problem is it's not. You made it gone. You threw it away. I would throw it away because we put old glasses and look at something that is always new, always changing. Through these old glasses. The person that you knew already gone. The person in front of you that you married or made love with, I don't know, a month ago and no longer, is gone. Now there is a new person. Every moment there is a new person. And if you love them only when you met them 10 years ago, but it's a new person. Look, she has a new wrinkle under her eye. And if you look deeply enough, it's a beautiful wrinkle. Unless you put story on it. Oh, aging, decay. Yeah, but from standpoint of art, you know how this wrinkle, how much it works? When I made those sculptures, do you know how much each wrinkle worth to me? Hey, I can put any spin on it you want to make it easier for all of us. Eh? So the passion is our toy. It's not outcome. It's the play. It's not the outcome. It's not something to be attached to. It's not something to expect to be appreciated by anybody, even by ourselves. Our appreciation is just a thought as well. It's just a thought. What I think about it is just a thought. Who cares about the thought? It's just a thought. There's no value in the thought. My passion is my toy, is my playground. If I deny myself by seeing myself through this old filter outside of the death that I invite you to experience every single moment and keep dying inside, to be born again and feel that passion for life. So death that is needed is simply transformation that is needed. Inner transformation. Stagnation is absence of passion. Boredom is stagnation. Boredom is the point of desire that repressed, that denied, that not fully embraced and loved, which you feel, I repeat, here in the center of power. Is if you do this exercise all the time and check with yourself, what would you love doing right now? What would I feel passionate about? Excuse me, right now. But I deny myself, and it's because of my fears, because I don't want to get hurt again. Feel your body. Body speaks. It speaks all the time. It's amazing how much body can tell you about the truth that your mind is hiding. When you learn to speak to your body and listen to your body, you will be amazed how much the body reveals. If you feel a lot of aches in the body, like solidity, it means transformation is needed. Rebirth is needed, darling. Death is needed. Something new must happen. You must move the energy. You must find the way to move that energy within you. There is a stagnation. It's not flowing. The life through you is not flowing. Your Shakti, your prana, your life force, it's there. It cannot go anywhere. All there is energy. But there is release that is needed. Let go is needed for space to arise, to something new to happen. No death, no birth. No death within us to the old, no passion, no new passion or revitalized passion can ever arise. Maybe pilgrimage is needed, who knows? If your daily life, daily routine is so busy that it doesn't allow you to truly get immersed in self-exploration. Because when transformation is needed, self-exploration is critical. What will you transform unless you see what is it to die? So this need for self-exploration is so crucial. And if we don't respond to it, we don't listen, that there is deep need within us to find the answers that are new answers. Because if we ask ourselves anything right now, an answer comes instantly, that means it's all answer. Did you notice when you ask someone something and they instantly answer you? You can know there was no thinking, no contemplation, there was no exploration of there's no search for a right answer. It just answer that they already knew. They probably gave that answer so many times to others. Unless it's very intellectual computation. But there is no true answer if we're not talking about something, 2 plus 2, how much is it? 4. But again, just because something we knew already, we learned. And on the big investigation, scientists could suggest that actually it might be not 4 exactly. Even that could be questioned. Hey, wouldn't that be worth of exploration? Well, not always probably. But when it comes to ourselves, to understanding ourselves, quick answer is as good as no answer at all, because it points to some old knowledge that is false in the first place. Because any old knowledge is false. It's not now here. Because we, as we were, not now here any longer, and never will be, ever. Nothing. No single cell will be the same. No single thought. Well, single thought. Thoughts are repetitive, but compilation of thoughts, pattern of thoughts now will be the same anyways. What you thought yesterday is not what is today. Yesterday you were depressed, maybe today you're flying, or vice versa. Yesterday day was great and this morning you woke up and that's why you're watching me, because you want your passion back. And there's no passion. That's because there's too much stagnation inside. Find your way for the pilgrimage. You don't have to leave your family and go in desert, which doesn't mean that you shouldn't for a while, but it's not the only way. Maybe don't drive this morning to work, take an Uber and sit and read something for the half an hour instead of sitting in traffic and swear at drivers just because you act out of your despair to dispassionate life. Because if you wouldn't have despair about dispassionate life, you wouldn't be angry at drivers. They just do their own best to wake up and get to work and then take care of kids and hopefully come and make love to your wife or husband, still have energy and all the routine that we put ourselves through when we stop visiting our world to live passionately, to keep dying to ourselves, keep dying and keep dying and keep dying, non-stop. And this process must never stop. Because unless old is gone, new never will arise. And passion is always new and fresh. How can you be passionate about something that you know so well? You think you know so well, obviously. If you've done something for a long time and know every single thing, there is no learning in it for you. No sense of freshness. It's been like that for many, many, many years, just like that. And you stopped having ability to have this new eyes, to see new nuances. Will you be passionate about it? I doubt it. Don't you think? So, if there is no new eyes, how can there be passion? And how can you develop new eyes if your self-perception is old self-perception? You see yourself as you were, I don't know, years ago, days ago even minutes ago. Minutes ago, for example, not minutes, let's see, maybe 20 minutes. I woke up an hour ago approximately, or even more. But I woke up with that terrible back pain and this flu that is totally taking me over and feeling miserable. That's one perception of me. Now I'm talking to you, all that disappear and all there is you and me, and the feeling is I feel great. So it's not the same Olga any longer. How can you be the same? How can I be the same? Everything ever changes. Which means for passion to be present, we need to be present to the fact that we are never the same. And other people are never the same. And we can be passionate to people with whom we spend decades together because we see them new all the time, not old. As soon as we can describe them, it's old. As soon as we can say, oh, she was this, she is this, he is this, that. You don't know the person. You put a label on them from your perception, not even how you knew them, but how you perceive them. Moreover, how you perceive them today, because if I ask you today about your, let's say let's say your ex-wife or ex-husband or ex-partner, tell me about him or her. Depending on your mood today, you will give different definitions, different description. Isn't it so? It also depends who you're talking to. It also depends from what leg you woke up. So, depends how you feel about yourself and your environment, you will put label on the other or on the object. So, our knowledge is so subjective. It's not subjective to us, it's subjective to kind of us in the moment. So we don't know objects that we're playing with, people that we are playing with. We don't ever know. If we remind ourselves that we never know, then we don't need to pretend we do, and that actually kills our passions, because this thought, but it's so known, and it's so old and uninterested any longer. There's nothing to learn, nothing to experience. Well, bullcrap. There's plenty to know, plenty to experience. Today, come to your loved one. Say something that will make them smile. And look how different the smile right now is. How the lips stretch differently, the sparkle in one's eyes, how different they are. Then say something else that will make them smile. And just see in the second later how the reaction brings a very different sparkle in the eye and very different stretch of the corner of the lip. Develop the practice of seeing your loved one in a different fashion every single moment and fall in love with them again and again, because there was great reason why you fell in love with them in the first place. And it's not just about the person, because our conversation today is not people. It's not passion towards people. It's passion towards your life. It's passion towards your creativity. It's passion towards the time spent on this planet, in this lifetime, or many other lifetimes, who knows. Can we die to our old mind every single moment? Can we die? And can we be reborn every single moment after into new passions? And no matter how old we are or young, how sick we are or healthy, how much pain we feel physically or emotionally, or how emotionally elevated we are, none of it is justification for dispassionate life. The only explanation of dispassionate life is our absence of intention to see it as a pointer. Dispassionate life is a pointer that transformation is needed. And when the pointer points, then it's our decision what to do with that. When we point it to the truth, the change is needed. What are we going to do about it? We can ignore it and continue living dispassionate life, hope that something will happen, or start the journey, restart the journey, because my invitation, don't ever end it. Let the journey be forever flowing. Journey of self-exploration. Journey of self-exploration. If your passion is not felt within the body, in every cell of your body, your mind is not clear and floating and elevated. And I'm not talking about continuity. I'm not talking, oh, this is dispassionate here. Forget about this long period of life. It's very hard to sustain this long anything. But moment by moment, if right now I feel dispassionate about my life, I don't feel spark, I feel disinterest. Yes, there is a wisdom in the fact that everything is transient and it will pass. And what's the point? We can ask this question, what is the point? And even answer, it might be there's not necessarily a point besides life itself. Life itself is the point. Living, experiencing life is the point of all. So that's that. How we will experience it, that's up to us. It's not up to anybody, that's up to us. Living dispassionate life, we choose it. We choose not to die, we're holding on to the old. We're holding on like there's value in it of any kind. No, there is no value. So let it go and die within Don't take it literally. Don't want to be responsible for something stupid. Internal death feels so good every time. Every time emotional pain happens, and you just let it go. Pain always points to wrong perceptions. There is no other value of pain or reason for pain as wrong perceptions. And I'm talking about emotional pain. Physical pain is a little bit different word altogether. Emotional pain always points to wrong perceptions. So, dispassionate life is a pain. Isn't it painful? Dispassionate life is painful. It's a drug. It's the same thing again and again, and it's boring, it's not disinteresting. So it's pain. There's existential pain in it. Isn't it so? There's existential pain in boredom, in dispassionate life. Which means it points to wrong perception. And if we have a pointer to wrong perception, there's opportunity to correct it. And not by finding right perception, but understanding that there is a wrong one, and self-exploration is needed for that to die. Not to substitute to something. We don't need substitutions. That's not needed. Just for that to die. Because something new always will arise. And it will be energy, it will be new energy within us that arises. And as new energy arises, it wants to express itself. It wants to play, it wants to share. Wait, that was loud. Calendar reminders. New energy within us wants to be expressed in something tangible, in some particular form of play. Playing with people, playing with creativity and objects and new adventures maybe. There's nothing wrong with leisure, nothing wrong with entertainment. It's still a way to share your love with others as you encounter something you love. You jump on that surfing board and meet the ocean, the ultimate representation of the ultimate. It's a beautiful symbol. It's love. It's revitalization. So it doesn't matter what you bring your passion to. It doesn't have to be anything productive or money making. None of it. Passion is not about outcome. Passion about the feeling of lying within you, flowing, and sense of exhilaration, and sense of meaning, not constructual meaning, not conceptual meaning, but feeling of meaning. The sense of meaning. I want you to feel energy right now. If you're here, I want you to take big inhale and big exhale. And let everything old with you right now, within you right now, not today, not this year, right now, in this moment as you're with me. If you're with me right now, if you're watching this video in this particular second, not even second ago or second after, right now, take a big breath again. Release all your thoughts, all your stagnation, all your energy that's sitting within you and hold you hostage to your thoughts, to your beliefs, to your feelings, to your emotions, to your imagery in your mind created by constructs, to all perceptions, to all self-identities, to all identities of any objects around you. If you're at home, look at your, washing machine and don't recognize it for a second. Make it new, make it look new. Your fridge. Be surprised how this fridge looks. Find elements that are completely unknown to you. Scratch. I don't know anything. Notice how much in your room is unknown to you and you don't notice it because you put a label on it and feel that you know it. Not feel, you don't feel it, you know it, you think that you know it. But you forget to check with your feelings and notice that it's all unknown. All unknown. the beauty of everything is unknown to the mind that is fresh and new. And it's only known to the mind that is old and old. You know what I mean? Old mind. Old mind, old body, I'm sorry. We need to wake up to the fact that we are aging because of this stagnation of energies within us that is caused by large by stagnation of our ideologies, our perceptions, all our delusions, and none of it serves us. So to live passionate life, we don't need to try to live passionate life. We need to find the cause of our dispassionate life. And the cause is us and all the thought forms that generate particular reactions in the body. And so our self-identity, our person, become a knower of it all. And nobody wins, neither you nor people around you. You can't give love to people from the point of knowing, because who are you loving? You're loving your old thought. You don't love the person in front of you, or plant, flower in front of you. You love what you thought about them, if you're lucky, a second ago, but usually a year ago. So look, you love in this particular situation, you love your old thoughts. That's what you love. You don't love person. You don't love the art that you're making. You love your old thoughts. And you don't love them really, because you can't love your old thoughts. You value them, kind of. So it's very intellectual. There's no love here. You cannot love old, non-existent. You cannot love non-existent, can you? You can love on the existent, but existence is now. Existence is not in the past. And it's not in your head, because in the head is only past. There's nothing fresh in the head. Well, I'm saying in the head, but it's not necessarily located in the head. In the mind. Okay, my dear ones, I must let you go. It's morning, Tuesday morning. You must probably move on with your day. May this day be very enjoyable, full of passion. May you find the courage within you to let go of your dispassionate life or dispassionate period of life caused by your illusions, caused by the fact that you all grabbing all your old stagnant perceptions. Let it all go. Dive within for a moment and have the sense, and find this aha, as you are driving or riding the Uber today to work or getting ready to talk to your client. Find this aha within you. What is new? What can I find new? Make new cup of coffee and just taste it. This sip is different. Not even this cup of coffee is different from that cup of coffee, but this sip tastes like this. What about this next one? I spotted another flavor. There is different temperature I can taste. All new every single moment. We can feel passion even to that cup of coffee or lemon tea. I even can feel passion to my fever. So, right now I'm that hot and that's my sweat. You know, it's all in the mind. We can create any structures we want. So anything that surrounds you today, hopefully your reality, tangible, manifested reality is a little better than mine. You hopefully not ill, don't have fever. Hopefully your day is light, my dear. I love you. I want you to love your life. I want you to find it within you to love your life. Just as it shows up externally, and just as you create it in your world of perception. Because it's your world of perception that creates your world. There's no other world outside of it, practically. These things are happening, but the only world that you register is the one of your perceptions. And that's why each world is different world from second to second, because your perceptory world, can I say that? World of perceptions is different, and you can make it different. And when you die to all your perceptions, all there is revealed is freedom, an intention to play, an intention to feel passion again, and desire to create whatever it is. All love. Someone, you started to feel less love towards me because you know it. So my dear, I love you. I want you to feel loved. I want you to feel love. I want you to feel passion every single moment, and practice to do so, because passion is practice. As soon as we forget about this beauty and joy of self-exploration, we lose passion. As soon as we perceive the world to be known and old, it looks like that. That's the world that we live in then. The old world. Who wants to live in old world? Who wants to live in old world? So, wake up. Wake up to reality that is never known. It never can be known because ever changing. As soon as you know, it's gone. Oh, you know it's gone now. It's gone. Forever and ever. So, wake up to this new. Appreciate this new. Find consciously something you can appreciate in this new perception towards any toy of the world. Your loved one, someone you will meet and can love, because love is choice, really, right? Your creativity, your music, your paintings, your sculptures, your cooking, your sewing, your snowboard painting, I don't know. Passion is passion. Whatever form it takes, doesn't matter. Go and try, go and play. Feel it. Outcome does not matter. The feeling of aliveness is. The feeling of rebirth in every moment is. So, may it be a very passionate Tuesday. May it be a very passionate week for you. May you live a very passionate, loving, fulfilled life. Much love to you. Much love.